So guys, a couple of weeks ago I did a video about the New Haven Free Public Library, and I decided to take it down because it definitely just came off more of like a revenge video. But I do want to talk about my experiences and why I would not recommend it for artists. Like, first of all, what happened was that I had an art exhibition in 2014, and what happened was that I photographed Occupy Wall Street and the New Haven chapter, so a lot of just Occupy New Haven. And first of all, like the artist that was in charge of the art gallery, he was definitely like a neoliberal. So obviously he was very biased towards me, and he wanted to get like neoliberal agenda. And then while I'm talking about it, is that I sold like an art piece for like $500, and when he kind of was talking about a cut, he actually cheated me out of $60-$70. So that wasn't a good experience. I should have stood up for myself. That's on me. And also when we had an art exhibit, when I had my art exhibition, that there was a lot of security guards walking up to me asking for soda, and a few other people just like kind of walking up, taking food and leaving. But definitely just a lot of people just walking up to me, acting all pretty and nice, asking for pop and whatever. And that's very disrespectful. Like, obviously, if we are artists and we have a gallery and you have employees that are actually working and supposed to be on the job, and they're getting like food from artists or mooching or taking advantage of people who are really nice like me, or maybe some people who may be a little bit naive like I was when I was younger, it's very disrespectful. And definitely that should be a write up for any job. For example, I work at a hospital, so the nurses wouldn't like it if you know somebody was like bringing in food, and I was like, can I have a piece of that? Can I have a piece of that cake? Can I have a piece of that pizza? Can I have some sparkling cider or whatever? It's just manners. The next thing that happened was when I was taking down my exhibit, there was a fight downstairs. So what happened was that there was two black guys. So one black guy was on the computer. He was like calling this other person the N word and a bunch of times, and the other guy was like saying, so you're calling me an N word, you're calling me an N word, and then he was like, the guy who was being called the N word, after he was saying like, so you're calling me this word, you're calling me this word, he was actually like punching this guy a bunch of times, and then he was running out of like the library with his pants sagging and everything like that, like stereotypical, like the stereotypes that hurt the black community. Like, obviously, an embarrassment to the race. People shouldn't be acting like that. But overall, I felt kind of very like shocked when that happened, and I kind of told myself, what would happen if I actually had my art exhibition up at that, and then kind of had a rough house during that thing. But I also will say that I think for a lot of amateur artists, most of them would choose the New Haven Free Public Library. But I will say that I didn't have a good experience with it, and I even put up a posting about a few weeks ago, and then I got a response saying, no, it's not like that anymore. And I kind of said, and they also said, well, you guys please, the poster of this, please reach out to me and talk about, the issues and whatever. And I did I did kind of like reach out to them. They never got back to me in like 4 or 5 weeks. So I do think that the fair thing to do is just really to save my piece, but also just to be a professional with it. It's not a professional place for artists. And definitely, if your employees are taking advantage by trying to get a cut, by trying to get a little bit of an extra cut of money, or if you have employees that think it's okay to mooch off food, and also too that even though you guys have security, and even though it's hard to manage people are responsible for themselves. If somebody's getting away with an assault and running out of your library, I wouldn't want to show my art. I wouldn't want to be around a bunch of just degenerates and degenerate workers, and especially your security. That's more of an insult that you would be trying to be asking for free food and whatever. So I would just say it's not a good place for artists. Look for other places that are more professional if you're in New Haven.